Welcome back, guys. So, 15 players have now reportedly entered the camp of the Nigerian Super Eagles. Likes of Wilfred Ndidi has now showed up. Kelechi Iheanacho, of course, showed up as well. Samuel Chukwueze, I talked about him in the last video. He was one of the surprise guys that showed up despite his injury, but he's still subject to some fitness examination in camp. With Coach Finidi and his crew. Then we have the likes of Dele Bashiru. I talked about him. He landed yesterday, and Terem Moffi came today. Based on the reports. Then we have Stanley Wabali, obviously came yesterday. Sadiq Ismail, the defender from Remo Star, one of the early guys that came to the camp. And then Kenneth Ibokwe, the Rangers international left back that was exchanged for Victor Osimhen. And then we have Oju Olorunloke, Benjamin Tenimu, Ibrahim Olowonyi of Turkey. Then Victor Boniface is also reportedly in camp. Rafael Onyedika, Chidozie Owaziem, and Alassane Yusuf. So these are the 15 guys that have now reportedly showed up in camp as at this moment. And the report is that the coach Finidi and his crew have already started the process, for the preparation ahead of the game against South Africa next Friday, and they had a training this morning, and most of the boys partook. Murphy, who showed up today, I don't know, I'm not sure he partook in the training for this morning, but he is in camp right now. The remainder of the guys, 8 guys in total, are still being expected in the camp. Some are definitely on their way at this moment. For the likes of Ademola Lookman is one of the most populous absentee at this moment, and I talked about him in the last video where I mentioned that Atlanta wants him to partake in their last game, which is going to be played today. So definitely, when he plays that match today for Atlanta, uh, he's going to board a plane that is going to come to Nigeria, to Uyo, so he can join the guys. Very likely that Finidi is also going to have a training session with the boys this evening around 4 p.m. But there's no confirmation to that one, and to be honest, it's kind of like a locked in camp at this moment. There isn't a lot of information going out from the camp at this moment. Reporters, journalists are still not being given information very much. Decision to have a sort of like a closed door atmosphere where reporters are not really allowed to cover stuff, take pictures, or ask questions might be something that Finidi, has obviously installed in the camp, because of course he would at this stage not want distractions coming in from the reporters, journalists wanting to ask the players or the coaching staff questions, or take pictures, or do any sort of thing that would distract their target, their objective for being in that camp. So that's basically the reason. But I'm sure that in the next couple of hours, it's going to be easing up, and then Finidi can start allowing reporters to actually get information from that one. And the fact that NFF, it's part of its responsibility, being given by NFF to let Nigerians know what's currently happening. Taking pictures is part of it, asking questions, it's also part of it. So it's definitely going to give media their time in the coming hours. But beyond that, one person that his arrival kind of looked like a bit of a surprise to me that he's actually showing up today is Terem Moffi. Of course, I talked about him, in a few days ago, that he was already in Cross River, Calabar, which is very close to, the camp venue, which is in Uyo. But he shows up not quite long ago, and I'm wondering, like, I expected him to be one of the guys to have showed up in camp. But again, these guys are really busy. Maybe he had something that he was doing. I'm sure he had, not that maybe, he definitely has something that he was doing that kept him, out of the camp up until now. But it's good to see that he's back and he has joined the guys in camp. I'm not sure if he had the training with them this morning, but if they are having a training this evening, then he's definitely going to join up with the guys for that training. Lighter note, I mentioned that William Chisekong is having this foundation launch officially today, being 2nd of June, and he actually is actually preparing for that one. I'm sure right now everywhere is bubbling in the Uyo Stadium with that event. It's still the same stadium that the Nigerian Spikers are having their camp, but it's in a different session, in a different section rather. But again, it's definitely going to echo across all the corners. Maybe some of the guys might even be around to observe the event whatsoever. But for Akon, he actually went to money mass, this morning at the Regina Coeli Parish Shelter Afrique, which is in his hometown. He actually went there to do Thanksgiving for this lunch, and went with family, and then he had an audience. After the Thanksgiving, the Reverend Father gave Lamchus Akon the opportunity to to address the congregation and tell them about what his foundation seeks to achieve. And in summary, Akon talks about, how he intends to reach out, give out to the society through this foundation, by helping, youngsters coming up through the ranks in sports development, and other related skill that his foundation is going to be featuring. So the official opening of his foundation is today, and as I mentioned, in the last video, lots of sports celebrities are expected to be there. Kanu Wankwo, Vincent Iyama, Ahmed Musa, and a whole lot of them. Also, music celebrity will also be there for that one. So it's definitely going to be a really, really massive one. So that's on the lighter note of this update. But on a more serious note, Nigerian Super Eagles are, definitely serious in camp right now. Everybody's sweating it out, trying to get themselves ready. The boys are following Finidi's instruction, and everything is going on well. Just the only downside to this is the fact that we've not seen all the players show up. As the report is that there's still like 8 people remaining to complete the 23-man list invited by Coach Finidi. But definitely in the next coming hours, I would confirm to you guys that these guys have all showed up in camp, and that they are now queuing in to what Finidi is teaching them. There's still an issue regarding the national anthem. Of course, I mentioned in the last video that it's made of official, it's made compulsory. It's in fact a law right now that's signed by President Tinubu, that everybody needs to start singing this new national anthem, especially more important for people that represent the country in international competitions and all of that. So the Nigerian Super Eagles have now been obligated, I mentioned that in the last video, to learn how to sing this national anthem, each of the players. There's also a report that the NFF are going to convert this national anthem into audio, so that these players can be listening repeatedly, so they can learn before they march out to play South Africa. But all over the internet, there's been mixed reaction where some people, some of the Nigerian Super Eagles fans are saying that they don't really need to learn these things. They should just mime the whole thing. The majority of the fans are saying that it's not that important to learn this lyrics, learn it word for word just yet, because it's going to be difficult, especially when these guys are focusing on trying to learn a tactics, learn some strategy, stay fit, be in camp, learn how to play the opponent and get a result in that game. So that's, learning the anthem is going to be like the secondary thing in their minds right now. And of course, the most important thing is going out there against South Africa, getting the result. That's the most important thing. But for the last days, guys, let me let you know that Mikel has now revealed that he has finally been forgiven by Sir Alex Ferguson after more than 15 years. Of course, the story. Mikel moved to Chelsea in 2006, but he had a pre-contract already with Manchester United, I think around 2005, and he agreed that he was going to join Man U. But, something happened. Ibrahimovic came with huge money and then thwarted the whole deal. And ever since then, Sir Alex Ferguson and Mikel had not seen eye to eye. But he's now revealing that the man has forgiven him. Of course, Mikel was in London over the weekend to present the Champions League trophy, and that was probably the event where these two met and made up from whatever issue that they were having. That's the update, guys. Thank you for watching this one. Don't forget to like and share the video, react to any of the stories that you like. More updates coming up from the camp of Nigerian Super Eagles, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel.